Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are doing absolutely well. So guys, in today's video we are going to solve some TCS NQT programming logic questions. So we have already made few videos previously. You can check all of those videos related to TCS NQT in the TCS NQT playlist on our channel if you have not yet checked those videos. So in this video we are going to cover some of the questions which are related to programming logic and which will be helpful for you in your TCS NQT exam preparation. So make sure that you watch the video till complete end, as there are a lot of important questions in this video for all of you. So before starting the video, if you are new to the channel, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, as I regularly upload off-campus drives as well as placement preparation related videos on my channel. Also, if you have not yet followed me on Instagram, make sure to follow, as I regularly upload job postings there as well. So it will be helpful for you. Also, I upload questions related to TCS NQT and other exams on my Instagram page as well. So let's start with our today's video and let's see the first question that we have. So the question is given below the statements about C programming language. Okay, so we have four different options. So the first is main function should always be the first function to present in a C program file. Second is all the elements of a union share their memory location. A void printer can hold address of any type and can be typecasted to any type. And the fourth option is a static variable hold random junk value if it is not initialized. So we have these four options and we have to tell that give the below which of the above statements are correct statements. Okay, so out of 1, 2, 3 and 4, which of them are the correct one? So first of all, first statement is not the correct, because main function should not always be the first function to present in a C program file. Any other function can be a first function. Okay, so first statement is wrong. Then the second statement that we have is all the elements of an union share their memory location. So this is a correct statement. Next statement that we have is a void pointer can hold address of any type and can be typecasted to any type. So this is also correct, that void pointer can hold the address of any type and can be typecasted. So 2 and 3 are correct. Let's see the fourth one. A static variable hold random junk value if it is not initialized. So this is again a wrong option. So with this we have found that option number 2 and option number 3 are the correct one. Now let's see the options that we have. So 2, 3, 1, 2 and 1, 2, 3. So 2 and 3 are the correct options. So option A is the correct answer. Now if you have not got the idea behind this, I will provide a detailed description or detailed answer of this video of this question in the description box, so you can check there too. Okay, so because it is not possible to explain in detail in the video, so I will provide the explanation in detail in the description box. So please make sure that you check the detailed explanation. Moving ahead to our next question. Before that, let's see the answer. So the correct answer is option A. We have already seen that. Let me clear the screen and move ahead to the next question. So this is our next question. Let's read it out first. If a function is defined as static, it means, now we have four options. The value returned by the function does not change. Second option is all the variable declared inside the function automatically will be assigned initial value of 0. Third option is it should be called only within the same source code or program file. And the fourth option is none of the other choices, as it is wrong to add static prefix to a function. Now you can see that based on programming logic, you are getting some questions based on C language or either some like general programming concepts, right? So it is a must that you should have a practice of solving these types of questions. Now from all of these options, the correct answer is it should be called only within the same source code or program file. So if a function is defined as static, then it should be called only within the same source code or program file. Okay, so the correct answer is option number C. So let's see whether C is the correct answer or not. So you can see that option C is the correct answer. Again, the detailed explanation for all the questions will be provided to you in the description box. Make sure to check the description box just in case if you have not understood any question. Moving ahead to the next question. So the question is while. So we have a while loop given to us. 0 equals 0 and then there are curly braces. Then we have four options, that is, first one is it has syntax error as there are no elements within braces. It will run forever. It comprises 0 with 0, and since it compares 0 with 0, and since they are equal, it will exit the loop immediately. It has syntax error as the same number is being compared with itself. So the correct answer for this will be, I would suggest that please pause the video for few seconds and try to think on your own, and just in case if you are not able to recognize the answer, you can just then check the solution of the question. Also, if you have not understood the explanation, you can check the description box for the detailed explanation. Now what happens is, while 0 equals 0, now this means what? While 0 means 0 actually means that it is basically checking the condition, right? So 0 equals 0, this is like checking the equality, and this returns true. So this means this, right? So this actually means while of 1. Now while of 1, which means that it will execute whatever is there inside the curly braces. Now there is nothing inside the curly braces, which means that what it will do is it will run forever, because once it will go inside the curly braces, again it will check the condition. So again this is a infinite loop kind of thing, so it will run forever is the correct answer for this question. Let's check the answer. So you can see that the option B is the correct answer. I hope you have understood this question. Let's move ahead to the next question now. So we again have a programming based question wherein it is mentioned that what does the following declaration means, and here something is given like integer pointer 10. So we have 4 options with us. PTR is array of pointers to 10 integers. PTR is a pointer to an array of 10 integers. PTR is an array of 10 integers. PTR is an pointer to array. So the correct answer for this question is option number B, that is PTR is a pointer to an array of 10 integers. Why? So you can see that PTR is a pointer to an array of 10 integers because in the array the value present is 10. Right, so PTR is a pointer to an array of 10 integers. So the correct answer is option number B. So you can see that the answer is option number B. Moving ahead to our next question. So the next question is, in C, if you pass an array as an argument to a function, what actually gets passed? Okay, so if you pass an array as an argument to a function, what is actually getting passed to that function? So the 4 options are value of elements in an array, first element of the array, base address of the array, and the last option is address of the last element of the array. So the correct answer for this is option number C, which is base address of the array. Okay, so when we pass an array as a function argument, the base address of the array will be passed. So whenever we pass an array as a argument to a function, the base address of that array will be passed to that function. So the correct answer is option number C. Moving ahead to the next question. So is there any difference in the following declarations? So the first declaration is int fun, int array, and there is nothing, no values passed, and in the next one the value 2 is passed, right? So whether is there any difference or not? So first of all, there is no difference in this, so the correct answer for this will be option number B. Why? Because both the statements are same only. It is the prototype for the function that accepts one integer array as a parameter and return an integer value. So basically both the statements are correct only. It is just that in one statement the value is passed and other the value is not passed. So that is the prototype for the function that is accepting one integer array as a parameter and returning an integer value. So the correct answer for this question is option number B. So let's check the answer. So you can see that the answer is option number B. Moving ahead to the next question now. So the next question is, are the expression array and ampersand array same for an array of 10 integers? Again we have option like true or false or yes or no. So the correct answer is no. These expressions are not similar. Both of them mean two different things. When we write simply ARR, it gives the address of the first integer, whereas when we write ampersand ARR, which means that it gives the address of the array of integers, right? So whenever this ampersand sign is mentioned, you must know that an address of the array of integers are passed. So the correct answer for this question is option B, that is no. So these expressions, that is ARR and ampersand of ARR, are not similar, they are different. So the correct answer for this is option number B. Moving ahead to the next question now. So again we have a question wherein which of the following statements should be used to obtain a remainder after dividing 3.14 by 2.1. So which of the following statements should be used in order to get a remainder, right? Now you must notice that these two are the floating point numbers first of all. Okay, so floating point numbers are there, so we cannot directly do this thing, that is 3.14, and we can make use of remainder sign and then do 2.1, because in that case it will not give us the correct value. So what needs to be done is we need to make use of a function. So the function the function that we can use here is this one, fmod. So fmod is always used to get the remainder on dividing two floating point numbers. So the correct answer for this question is option number C. Okay, so the fourth option is not correct, that is the remainder cannot be obtained in floating point division. Yes, remainder can always be obtained when we use fmod function. So the correct answer is option number C. You can see that the correct answer is option C. Moving ahead to the next questions. Which of the following symbol allowed in a variable name? Okay, so we have four options, that is asterisk, pipeline, hyphen and underscore. So I will not tell the answer of this question because I want all of you to comment down the answer for this question, that what is the correct answer for this question, whether it is asterisk, pipeline or hyphen, or it is an underscore. So which special symbol is not special symbol is allowed in the name of a variable. So I hope you all will comment down the answer, even though if you know that it is the correct answer, and even though you can see that others have replied already, please make sure that you reply on your own. Moving ahead to the next questions. So with this we have completed all the questions of this video. I hope you have got some understanding of the questions which are related to programming logic that you can expect in your TCS NQT exam. So with this we have come to an end. If you have any doubts related to any question, let me know in the comment section, and I will also provide the detailed description in the in the description box. Make sure to join us on different social media platforms like Telegram and Instagram. We have 3000 plus members on our Telegram channel and 2000 plus on Instagram page as of now. So make sure that you also be a part of it, and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to receive all the latest regular updates. Thank you and all the best for your upcoming exams.